She posted an Instagram reel laughing at my cheap anniversary gift, and the whole internet joined in before I even knew it existed. I watched it once, then again, then a third time until the sound of her laugh felt like it was stuck behind my eyes. And I did the only thing that still felt like mine to control. I packed her life into boxes, moved it into a storage unit, and changed the locks. When she came home, she found a note with the unit number and the code. And after that, her calls, her messages, her tears, all of it, hit a wall of silence. Hey everyone, before we get into the story, make sure you subscribe and hit like if you want more true to life, dramatized relationship stories. Thanks for being here. My name is Mark. I am 35. I work in IT support for a regional hospital network in the Pacific Northwest. Not Seattle, not some glamorous tech campus, just a mid-sized city where people wave at you in the grocery store and complain about rain like it is a hobby. My job is stable, the kind of work that is invisible when everything runs fine and suddenly urgent when a server goes down at 3 in the morning. I like the predictability. I like knowing my bills are paid. I like planning and keeping promises. I have always been that guy, the reliable one, the one who shows up early and leaves the light on for people who are struggling. That is how I was with Nora. I met Nora 4 years ago in late August at a friend's backyard cookout, the kind with folding chairs, cheap beer, and someone's playlist fighting with the sound of a lawnmower 2 houses away. She walked in like she belonged there. Bright laugh, bold lipstick, and this energy that made everybody turn their heads without realizing they were doing it. I was drawn to it because I am the opposite. Quiet, steady, the guy who checks the grill temperature twice. She teased me for it, said I looked like I had a spreadsheet for fun. I laughed. She laughed. And somehow we ended up talking on the porch until it got cold. Back then she was between things, that was her phrase. She said she was working on her brand, doing freelance marketing, helping small businesses with social media. Some months she did okay. Other months she lived on optimism and iced coffee. I did not judge it. I admired her confidence. I told myself ambition looks messy before it looks impressive. When we started dating, she was living with 2 roommates and a cat that hated everyone. I had my own apartment, small but clean, the kind of place where the rent is slightly too high because it is close to downtown. After about a year, her lease ended and she floated the idea of moving in together like it was casual, like she had not already decided. I said yes because I loved her and because I believed love is supposed to be a team. The truth is, I paid most of the rent from the beginning. Nora covered what she could, and I covered the rest without making her feel small about it. I told her, "You will get there. I believe in you." And I meant it. I remember the first time she lost a job while we were together. It was a contract gig for a startup that promised culture and growth. They let her go after 3 months and called it a restructure. She came home furious, then scared, then quiet. And I sat with her at the kitchen table while she refreshed job boards and tried not to cry. I took on extra weekend shifts and did some freelance troubleshooting for a local accounting firm to keep us comfortable. I paid her portion of her student loan for 2 months when she asked me in a small voice if I could help. I helped her rewrite her resume, practiced interview answers with her, even drove her to a couple interviews because her car was making a sound that seemed expensive. Last spring, she landed a role at a trendy marketing agency downtown, the kind with exposed brick walls, neon signs, and employees who talk about vibes like it is a KPI. She was thrilled. She posted a selfie in the lobby with a caption about leveling up. I took her out to dinner to celebrate, not a fancy steakhouse, but a nice place, candles, good pasta, a small dessert with a sparkler because the waiter insisted. I told her I was proud of her, and she squeezed my hand like she meant it. For a while, things felt good. Then something started changing, slowly, quietly, like a crack spreading through glass. You keep pretending is fine. Nora got glued to her phone, not just scrolling, but studying, watching reels, saving posts, comparing, always comparing. She started talking about her coworkers like they were her new family, especially her team lead, a guy named Trent, the kind of person who talks fast and wears expensive sneakers and makes you feel like you are falling behind just by standing next to him. "Trent is brilliant," she would say, eyes shining. "Trent thinks bigger than everyone." And it was the way she said it that bothered me. Not admiration, but a kind of hunger. Happy hours became a weekly thing, then 2 nights a week. Then suddenly it felt like I was the last item on her calendar. She would come home after 9 with stories about rooftop bars, brainstorm sessions, inside jokes I was not part of. I tried not to be jealous, I told myself. This is her career. She's building a future. I should support her. But then came the little digs. Why do you always want to cook at home? Trent took the team to that new fusion place. It was incredible. Why do we never do stuff like that? Why are you so cautious with money, Mark? You act like we are 80. Life is now, not later. She started calling me responsible Mark, the way someone calls a dog cute right before pushing it off the couch. It stung, but I swallowed it because I thought love means patience. Our fourth anniversary was in early October, a Thursday. Cold rain, gray sky, the kind of day that makes you want to stay inside with warm food and a movie. Money was tight because I had helped her clear some credit card debt from a shopping spree she called investing in my image. So I went personal instead of expensive. I made her a leather-bound photo journal, not store-bought. Something I put together page by page, printed photos from our trips, wrote little notes in the margins, inside jokes. The day she spilled hot chocolate in my car and we laughed until we cried. The night we got lost on a hiking trail and she held my arm like she actually needed me. I paired it with a weekend reservation at a cabin by the coast we had talked about. 2 nights, ocean air, fireplace, nothing flashy, but meaningful. I wrapped it and surprised her with breakfast, pancakes, coffee, candles because I thought it would be romantic. She smiled and said, "Aww," and hugged me. But her eyes were already drifting to her phone. It felt like acting. I noticed she did not post about it. Nora posts about everything. 2 days later, I found out why. It was a Saturday night. I was on the couch, half watching a documentary, half scrolling on my own phone. I do not live on social media, but I use it. Mostly tech videos, music clips, dumb humor. Then her reel appeared in my feed because we followed each other and because the algorithm loves chaos. At first, I thought it was going to be one of her work-related posts, maybe a behind-the-scenes thing. She was in our kitchen holding my photo journal, smiling in that performative way she used online. Then the text overlay hit. When your boyfriend thinks a scrapbook is romance, versus when a real man knows how to spoil you. Then she angled the camera to her neck, and there it was. A sparkling pendant, not subtle. Something that screamed money. She pointed at it and laughed, and the caption said, "Anniversary fail, upgrade season." The hashtags were worse, couple goals, worse. Relationship advice, don't settle. And the comments were already pouring in. Strangers calling me broke, pathetic, boring, telling her to dump me, praising Trent, calling him husband material. My chest tightened like my lungs forgot how to work. I watched the reel again, trying to hear it differently, trying to catch some sign she was joking. But she was not joking. She was feeding people my humiliation like it was content. After everything I had done, after the weekends I gave up, the money I covered without complaint, the quiet support when she doubted herself, she turned me into a punchline for likes. The first feeling was confusion, then hurt, then something colder, something clean. Dignity. I did not call her screaming. I did not reply with a comment. I did not message Trent. I did not do any of the dramatic things people do when their pride gets cut open in public. I waited. Nora came home at about 9:15, later than usual. Keys rattling, door swinging. She walked in with that bright voice like nothing had happened. "Babe, you will not believe what Trent pitched today," she said. "The whole team lost it. He is a genius." She kicked off her shoes and headed toward the living room, still talking. I stood up slowly, calm. She saw my face and paused, a flash of calculation. Then her smile returned, the professional one. "What is wrong?" she asked, like she was dealing with a difficult client. "I saw your reel," I said. Her eyes flicked away, then back, and she laughed, short and dismissive. "Oh my God, that, Mark. It is just content." "Relax content," I repeated. "You called my gift embarrassing. You compared me to Trent. You told the internet to upgrade from me." She rolled her eyes and dropped her purse on the chair like I was wasting her time. You are being so sensitive, she said. The journal is sweet. Okay, but it is not, it is not impressive. Trent surprised me with this pendant after our campaign win. He is supportive. He celebrates me. It is motivating. I stared at her and realized she was not even ashamed. So you are accepting jewelry from your boss, I said, and you are publicly mocking your boyfriend for giving you something meaningful. She shrugged. It is not my boss. He is my team lead, and it is not like that. He is just generous. He gets it. He gets me. You are always practical, always budgeting, always planning. It is suffocating sometimes. My stomach twisted. I booked that cabin. I said, I planned the weekend you wanted to go. Yeah, she said, and it is cute, but it is not exciting. You do not challenge me. Trent challenges me. He pushes me. He makes me feel alive. There it was, the truth, said casually, like it was a normal thing to tell someone who loves you. I asked the question anyway, is something going on with Trent? She did not deny it. She just tilted her head like I was behind. I do not know. She said, maybe I need space to figure out what I really want. Comfort is not enough anymore, Mark. I deserve sparks. Then she grabbed her coat again, phone already in her hand. I am going out, she said. Do not make this into a big thing, and if that reel bothers you, just unfollow me. It already has 60,000 views. People agree with me. She left, and the door shut with a hard click that echoed through the apartment like a decision. I sat in silence and felt something strange, relief mixed with grief. Because the worst part of betrayal is not the pain. It is the clarity. Once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. While she was out, I moved like a machine. I opened the closet and started packing her clothes into boxes, folded, neat, no rage, just order. I packed her makeup, her skincare, her books, her camera tripod, the cheap ring light she used for content. I did not break anything. I did not throw anything out. I just removed her from my space. Around midnight, I loaded the boxes into my car and drove to a storage facility off Harbor Avenue, the kind with bright lights and security cameras and a gate code. I rented a unit under my name, Unit 214, paid for 2 months, signed the contract with a steady hand. Then I drove back and called a locksmith that advertised 24-hour service. A tired-looking guy showed up around 1:30, replaced the lock cylinders while I made coffee. No drama, no questions, just work. By 2:20 in the morning, it was done. I wrote a note and left it on the kitchen counter. Not angry, not begging Nora. I saw the reel and I heard what you said tonight. Your things are in storage unit 214 at Harbor Lock. Storage on Harbor Avenue, gate code 1987, unit code 4451. Take care. Mark. That was it. Then I blocked her number, not to punish her, but to protect my head from the flood I knew was coming, and I slept on the couch because the bedroom still smelled like her shampoo. The next morning, my phone vibrated so much it felt alive. Unknown numbers, voicemails, missed calls. I listened to one voicemail from her, muffled, frantic. Mark, what is going on? Open the door. Then another, angry. This is insane. You cannot do this. Then another, softer. Please call me. We need to talk. I went to work anyway. Work grounded me. Tickets, passwords, a printer that refused to connect. A nurse who thanked me like I'd saved her life because I fixed her login. Simple problems with simple solutions, unlike my personal life. By the evening, I unblocked her just to see what I was dealing with, and the screen filled with messages like a dam breaking. Where are my things? This is not funny. You packed me out over a reel. Are you 12? Call me right now? We need to talk. Okay, fine. It was stupid, but it was a joke. It was for engagement. You know how social works. Trent was just being supportive. Nothing happened, I swear. By day 3, the tone changed. I am at Jenna's place. I cannot stay here long. Please, I miss home. I miss you. Can we just talk? Please, I did not respond. Not once silence was my boundary. Silence was my medicine. A week passed, then 2. I started going back to the gym, something I had neglected while trying to be the perfect boyfriend. I lifted, I ran. I let my body burn out the stress my mind refused to release. I called friends I'd been too busy for. I met them for tacos and laughed for the first time in weeks, and I realized how much I had shrunk inside that relationship without noticing. Nora did not stop. She recruited people. Her sister called, voice sharp. "Mark, you are being cruel. It was a harmless post. You are overreacting. Men like you cannot handle a confident woman." I hung up mid-sentence. A mutual friend texted, "She is really sorry, man. She is embarrassed. Just let her explain." I did not reply. Then the story began to twist on its own, like karma does not need your help. It just needs time. I heard through our friend group that the reel started backfiring. At first, strangers loved the drama, but then people started asking questions. Someone recognized our apartment. Someone put pieces together, and the comment section turned. "So he pays most of the rent and she is mocking him. This is not funny, this is disrespect. She seems ungrateful." And Nora, who lived on validation, started spiraling. At work, Trent's generosity was not so innocent. Rumors surfaced. He had been sending gifts to multiple women on the team. Not romantic, not official, just enough to blur boundaries. There was an HR complaint about favoritism, then another about inappropriate messages. The agency tried to keep it quiet, but nothing stays quiet in a building full of marketers. Trent panicked, and when panic hits certain men, they cut loose the people who make them look guilty. He distanced himself from Nora publicly, stopped replying to her messages, stopped inviting her out, started acting like she was a liability. Nora tried to pretend she did not care, but her confidence cracked. Clients started requesting someone else on accounts. Her boss pulled her off a major pitch. For focus. They said, meaning, "You are drama." Then, in early November, a Friday, she got called into a meeting and let go. Performance issues, they said. But everyone knew it was the mess. Her messages shifted again. Desperation now soaked through every word. "I got fired. Mark Trent used me. He played me. I deleted the reel. I did. I know it was wrong. Please, I have nowhere to go. Please, just let me come back. I will do anything." Her mother emailed me. Subject line in all caps, "You ruined her life." Calling me toxic, telling me to be a man and forgive, as if forgiveness is something you can demand like rent. I archived it. Meanwhile, my life started moving forward in a way I had forgotten was possible. At work, a senior support lead role opened, the kind with better pay and partial remote days. I applied, I interviewed, I got it. My manager told me, "You have been consistent for years. You are the kind of person we trust." And I almost laughed at the contrast, because the person who claimed to love me treated consistency like a flaw. I painted the apartment, rearranged furniture, got rid of the clutter that had built up around her projects and her moods. The space felt lighter, like air could move again. Nora's attempts escalated, because people who live on control cannot handle being ignored. 2 months after she moved out, she showed up at my gym. I saw her in the mirror behind me while I was doing rows. Hair pulled back messily, face tired, eyes swollen like she had been crying in a car. She waved like we were still something, like she could rewind time with a gesture. I finished my set, wiped the machine, and walked toward the locker room without acknowledging her. She followed. "Mark, wait," her voice cracked. "Please, just talk to me." I turned, calm. "What do you need?" Her words spilled out fast. "I am sorry. I was chasing likes. I was trying to fit in at work." Trent flattered me. He made me feel important, but it was nothing. It was stupid. I see it now. I lost everything. I am couch surfing. My friends are done with me. My family is tired. I just want to come home. There was a moment where the old me wanted to comfort her because habit is powerful. But the new me remembered the real, the laugh, the word upgrade, the way she told the world I was pathetic. "No," I said, softly but final. Her face twisted. "No, are you serious? You are acting like I cheated." "It does not matter what label you want," I said. "You disrespected me publicly and privately. You chose that." She reached for my arm. Please, just coffee. Just let me explain. I stepped back. Take care of yourself, I said, and I walked away. That night the messages came again, angry, then pleading, then angry again, like waves. A week later, she ambushed me at a cafe near the hospital. I was grabbing a coffee before a shift, and she slid into the chair across from me like we still had a right to each other. She looked thinner, worn down, her confidence replaced with urgency. Do not walk away, she said. I am broke. I might lose my car. Trent ruined everything. He was controlling. He yelled. He used me. I need help. Help, I repeated, or us. Us, she said. I learned my lesson. No more social drama. I will appreciate you. I will post about you. I will show everyone how good you are. That was the part that hit hardest, the way her apology still centered on optics, on what she would post, what people would see, not who she had hurt. I took a sip of coffee and set the cup down. Goodbye, Nora, I said, and I walked out. It all came to a head in mid-December at our friend Liam's holiday party. The kind with string lights and hot cider and people pretending everything is fine because it is festive. I almost did not go, but Liam texted me, "Come on, man, you have been gone. Nora is not invited. She burned bridges. I showed up feeling different, not bitter, just solid, new haircut, stronger from the gym, promotion settled. Plane tickets booked for a solo trip to Vancouver Island after New Year's. The kind of peace you cannot buy. You earn it by choosing yourself." Halfway through the party, the back gate creaked open. And there she was. Nora uninvited, slipping in like a shadow, wearing a wrinkled coat, makeup smudged, holding a cheap bottle of wine like it was an offering. People went quiet. Whispers moved like wind. Liam looked at me with a question in his eyes. I nodded. I would handle it. Nora walked straight to me, stopping too close, voice shaking. "Mark, please," she said. "I had to come. I am at rock bottom. I lost my job. I am living with my cousin and she hates me. I tried to fix things, but you will not answer. I know what I lost now. You were kind, stable. You were real. I was blind." I looked at her and felt almost nothing. Not hate, not love, just distance. "This is not the place," I said. "It has to be," she said, eyes wet. "I texted hundreds of times. I called until my phone died. My family tried. I know they were wrong. I was wrong. Please. We can rebuild. Remember the cabin? Remember our trips? I will change." I swear I met her gaze and kept my voice even. What we had ended when you made me a joke for strangers, when you told me I was an upgrade away from being replaced. I have moved on. Her face crumpled. "Moved on," she whispered, "after 4 years. That is cruel. You do not care. I suffered. Trent hurt me. I am alone." "No sympathy needed," I said. "You discarded me publicly and then expected me to stay available. Focus on yourself now." Her tears turned to anger. "Fine," she snapped. "Enjoy your boring peace. You will miss me when you are lonely again. Everyone thinks you are the villain behind her." I saw people's faces. The ones who had watched the reel, the ones who had defended her at first, now seeing the reality in real time. Liam stepped in gently. "Nora, you need to go," he said. She stared at me one last time, like she wanted my expression to change, like she needed me to break so she could feel better about herself. I did not. She left through the gate, sobbing, and the party exhaled. That was the end. A few more furious texts came that night. Then silence. And I blocked her for good. Looking back, it still shocks me how quickly love can turn into disrespect when someone starts measuring you by what you can display instead of what you can build. But I do not regret the way I handled it. No screaming, no revenge posts, no public fight, just a boundary so clear it could not be negotiated. If you are listening and any of this feels familiar, remember this: you do not have to beg for respect. You do not have to compete with someone else's validation. Sometimes the strongest move is to walk away quietly and let your life get better without the person who was draining it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want more stories like this, and tell me in the comments, did Mark do the right thing?